positive trend will continue. Ajay Bodke of Prabhudas Leeladhar joins in to give us his views on the markets. Hi Ajay, good morning. Last week was all about mid-caps with a 4% uptick that the mid-cap index saw. What are the mid-cap stocks that you guys are recommending now for investors to buy, in the next leg of the rally?
I think the markets, I personally feel, should consolidate the current levels, give and take a couple of 100 points on either side. The rise, in my opinion, will be very measured going forward. And the fact that the crude prices have weakened is singular positive for the Indian markets. So I think in this context, some of the mid-cap names that we would advocate investors to look at from a medium-term perspective. In the capital goods space, Cummins, we are very positive on, and we are expecting a target price of around 765 in case of Cummins. Again, it's a play on revival investment cycle, which we believe should happen at the last quarter of the current financial year. We are expecting a growth of around 11% in top line in the current year and around 17% next financial year for Cummins. And that should translate into a bottom line growth of around in the current financial year and around 22% in next financial year. The company's ROEs also are very strong at around 28% in the current financial year. Stocks trading at 22 times. So I think Cummins is in the capital space would recommend. In cement space, we have been positive on ACC in the large cap space, but we are particularly positive on JK Lakshmi Cement, recommending it strongly for last 3 months now. We have a target price of 375 in JK Lakshmi. The company is adding to its capacity quite aggressively. We are expecting large capacity to come on stream in next financial year. And there we are expecting a revenue growth of 24% this year and a stronger 32% revenue growth in next financial year. Should translate into a very large bottom line growth of around 82% current year and 32% in next financial year. Company is trading at a PE of around 13 times. I think in case of agrochemical space, again, we are positive. I think the initial fears of very large deficiency in monsoons have been alleviated. Only 16% deficiency in monsoons we have seen. The sowing also has picked up quite strongly. And there are two stocks in particular we would like to ask investors to look at in the medium term. One is UPL, where we are expecting a target price of 400 rupees in UPL in the medium term. Penciling in a CAGR in revenues of 12.5%, FY 15-16, translating into bottom line growth of 15% this year, 18% next financial year. Company's ROEs are trending up around 20%, and stock is trading at 10 times FY 16. Tata Chemicals started looking at last 1.5 months. There's a turnaround in operations the manager is talking about. There we are expecting a target price of 473 in the medium term. Here again, sort of the revenue growth will remain sort of, in high single digits. Bottom line growth of around 22% in next financial year we are expecting. And the stock is trading at around 11.7 times FY16 earnings.
Okay, Ajay, just on UPL, it's already doubled. What did you say are the valuations now?
Yeah, see, as per our numbers, Lata, we are expecting an earnings growth of 14% this year, 18% next financial year, and it is trading at 13.4 times FY15 earnings and 11.3 times FY16 earnings. And the company's ROEs, as I mentioned, are trending up. We are expecting them to move in the range of 22 to 23% in the current and next financial year.
All right, we'll come back to you with more questions, Ajay. Let's welcome Hemant Thakral as well into this conversation. Hemant, first up, do you trade the Nifty at all today? And if yes, how?
See, good morning, Lata. Lata, what I feel is that Nifty is now entering into resistance zones. See, 8,000 we have crossed, now we are sustaining well above it. But around 8150 to 82, I think there's a lot of resistances that Nifty will face. So I think Nifty is entering more into a consolidation phase. It will remain bullish. So it's a buy on dips strategy. But I would not like to buy at every high aggressively at every higher levels. So I would wait if Nifty can correct till 8050, 8070 zone in cash, which it has been testing in last 2 days. And from there you buy, keep a stop loss of 7980, and I think you can then assume the target is 8150. If 8150 in spot is crossed, then I think 8240 should be tested. But this zone of next 8150 to 8240, I think one should ideally start booking profits, because you will get some profit taking at higher levels. And that is, this whole hypothesis is coming from the FI figures in FNO, which I am seeing very clearly. They have been selling index futures now in last 1 week, and they have been buying index options. So a lot of hedgings have started to come in place at higher levels. So I don't see that we have a very smooth run above 82 in Nifty. So I would be advising some profit taking at higher levels now.
All right, resistance at 8200 perhaps. Stay on, guys. We'll just take a short break and come back in time for the pre-opening rates.
Morning Call brought to you by Ever Ready, Give Me Red, and Hyundai Elite i20, uncompromised.
Come on India, let's football.
Indian Super League!
I was more than just a coward, I was handsome too. I felt nothing when your flood came down. Holding fires that made me wonder if the lights were wrong. With my hands that never touched no ground. Where your talent is
1 lakh Echo Sports sold. Get yours now.
times you're gone.
Finding something for everyone to love. It's just one of the lengths we go to make you feel at home.
पेश है प्रधानमंत्री जन धन योजना। अब बैंक खाता आसानी से खुलेगा, साथ ही डेबिट कार्ड और 1 लाख के दुर्घटना बीमा का लाभ मिलेगा।
दूर से तो सब अच्छा दिखता है, जैसे ये घर। दूर से प्यारा, करीब से दरारों का मारा। ड्यूलक्स वेदरशील्ड मैक्स अपनाइए, जिसकी क्रैक प्रूफ टेक्नोलॉजी मौसम की मार से आपके घर को बचाए, ताकि घर रहे दूर से सुंदर, करीब से सॉलिड।
This is TV18 and you're watching CNBC TV18.
Open Exchange brought to you by Wildstone. It happens. And Greenply Plywood, forever new.
All right, it's about 35 seconds now for the markets to open. Maybe we should pull up the SGX Nifty and not ask questions at this juncture, since we'll barely complete it. Okay, SGX Nifty is showing a positive tick, and why not? We have had the non-farm payroll numbers giving a bit of a spring in the step to Wall Street as well, and the Asian markets are largely green, mixed, but of course largely not functioning today, so we wouldn't have a very good view. That's Nikkei up. Basically, risk is on, and then we've got, of course, lower crude prices to support our market. So perhaps a green start cannot be ruled out, and definitely a green start for the rupee. The dollar is surely headed cheaper. We should be getting the dollar at 60.25 or thereabouts for sure. A little cheaper than Friday closing level. So that's the opening Nifty numbers. Very wild, unbelievable. 1% higher and 0.9% higher is not how the Nifty can open. The Sensex as well was up, the first tick up about 0.25%. So the direction of the market, no one is in doubt. We are going to perhaps start gap up open. But thereafter, of course, much will depend on whether the market has legs to go towards the 8,200 mark. But the important stock that we will watch out for will be Coal India and the whole host of power stocks, but particularly Coal India. And that's because of this statement that Piyush Goyal made in that exclusive chat he had with Shireen Bhan over the weekend. Let's hear him out and then we'll come to our experts.
The board has not written to me or asked me to reconsider anything. Why I did not write a figure is because I am not running Coal India. It's an autonomous body. I had only made an appeal to Coal India to restrict the quantity to the required amount. Originally, it was expected to be 5% of the production. I think somewhere along the line, somebody got greedy, and I only appealed to them, and I think they accepted that appeal. The last I heard was they were very happy to accept the revised plans of reducing e-auction.
Okay. Well, Ajay, that's the reaction I want want from you. Coal India is definitely going to see a reduction in the amount in coal auction. And further on in that interview, Piyush Goyal goes on to say one company's profit cannot be more important than the public interest. Now, if you juxtapose that statement with the stated aim of the government to give 24/7 power to the country, I mean, he's making a very clear statement which fits with the overall vision of this government. What are your thoughts on Coal India itself as a stock?
I think clearly the perspective has been made very clear by the government that they are looking sort of, a 24/7 supply of electricity in the medium term on the lines of Gujarat, where the Jyotigram scheme has been particularly successful in terms of feeder separation mechanism.
Yeah, Ajay, he's also saying that he is not going to let Coal India's profits be more important than that aim. So, that came very directly in that conversation, reduction of, reduction of,
it does.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
It does come in sort of, so obviously, there would be a restraining insofar as e-auction volumes in the medium term from Coal India are concerned. And hence, sort of, there will be an impact of the same on the realizations, overall realizations and the profits for Coal India. But as I said, we've got to look at it from the broader perspective, from the perspective of the entire nation, and all the other power utilities also, which are starved of a steady supply of coal. And I think the appeal that the Honorable Coal Minister has done to Coal India, which has been accepted by Coal India's management, will go a long way in terms of alleviating the power situation and the cascading impact that in turn
Ajay, it won't alleviate the pain of the Coal India investor, isn't it? I'm asking you whether you will buy the share.
I think, I would stay away from buying Coal India at the current juncture.
Okay, stay away from buying Coal India. The market, by the way, has settled with a gain of about 0.3 to 0.4%. So that's the Nifty. Okay, now 0.5% higher. So looks like the trend is positive. The rupee trend is positive as well. The opening on the dollar rupee is at 60.26. This is versus 60.40 that we closed on Friday. So there is a bit of appreciation that you're seeing in the rupee too. Hemant, I want to ask you about Bharti because it was the biggest gainer last week with a gain of 9%. And there is some fundamental news backing that stock as well. Would you buy Bharti this morning?
See, Sonia, two important reasons that week on week the stock has done very good, both on the open interest as well as delivery based volumes. So definitely some buying is coming back in Bharti. 380 put writers are very aggressively adding positions. So I do see Bharti not going below that 385, 390 mark now. Yes, 415 to 420, I think that's the resistance zone for Bharti. So unless until it makes sure that 420 call writers are removed or are made sure to cover their positions, I don't see Bharti going above 415, 420. So if it gets a dip, yes, it's a buying opportunity. 385 is my stop loss, 4115 target. But for the timing, I don't see Bharti crossing 415 on the upside.
Okay, a lot of volatility on the Nifty at this point in time. We're really not able to make out how things are going to pan out. I think it's best to wait. I mean, why should GMR Infra be up 5%? You know, the sudden drop of 0.8 on the Nifty. Remember, these are not traded numbers. They are more just bids put in. But very, very wild moves at this point in time on the Nifty and on individual stocks as well. ICICI Bank is down 7%, Reliance is down 6%. There's something wonky going on here. We will come back and revisit the space in a bit. Ajay, you know, you spoke about Cummins, the capital goods space. I wanted to ask you at that time, why are you giving it 22 times? Because we aren't really seeing any growth. And secondly, what are your thoughts in terms of auto ancillaries? I saw Motherson Sumi in your list, but any other auto ancillary that you like?
I think insofar as Cummins is concerned, we are penciling in an earnings growth of around 16% in the current year and 22% in next financial year. So we are expecting the economic recovery to pick up steam, as I mentioned, in the end of the year. When you heard the conference call that the company had after the results, they were talking about pickup in recovery in FY16 in domestic market and the volumes in the export markets being extremely strong. They're expecting a 30% growth in volumes in the export market in the current year and hope to build up on that in the next financial year. So I think the growth clearly justifies the fact that, you know, the PE ratio of around 22 times FY16, and the company also had very strong ROEs of around 28.3 in the current financial year and around 24.3% in next financial year. So I think the valuations are justified because of strong ROE and expected earnings growth. Insofar as auto ancillaries is concerned, Motherson Sumi, we have been positive for last 1 year. We continue to remain positive there. In addition to that, I think we are also we've been positive for last 2 months on LG Balakrishnan. The stock has done extremely well. We are expecting around 22% CAGR in terms of bottom line growth out there. And around say 15 to 17% top line growth. That stock, I think, you know, in the medium term again should do extremely well. But the largest suppliers of automotive chains to Bajaj Auto and HMSI, and sort of, you know, the company is sort of, you know, trending sort of, you know, towards very strong ROEs. So that is one stock other than Motherson Sumi that one could look at in the medium term in auto ancillary space.
Okay. Hemant, you have a buy on IRB Infra today, but that stock actually, you know, it faces a hurdle at that 270 mark every time it gets there. You think it's going to break out of that range now?
Yes, Sonia, I do feel that the stock is now has the power to do that. There are two prime reasons. First, the Friday open interest, 9% open interest has been added in IRB Infra. And the way the delivery volumes have moved up in that stock. I think the number of shares that were marked for 11.5 lakh shares were marked. And if you see its last 5 days average, it is around 8 lakhs. So higher delivery based volumes along with open interest, higher cash volumes, I think the stock is suggesting some buying coming back in. So I would continue to buy that stock. I would keep a stop loss of 260, 263 zone, which it has been taking support around. And then the higher side I would be targeting around would be 275 to 280. So I do think the stock will cross 270 this time.
Okay, and finally you have a buy on Hindustan Zinc. I'm a little surprised. I would have thought metal stocks like Sesa Sterlite have been more volatile. Any thoughts on both?
See, Lata, first I think metal as a pack has not been doing not so good. In fact, the data wise it has been every higher levels we have seen selling pressure coming back in. But if you see Hindustan Zinc, right from the aggressive rollovers, it has been a complete outperformer to this pack. And on Friday we have seen 15% open interest being added up. And again, the delivery based volumes are twice than its 5 days average. 21 lakh shares have been marked for delivery on Hindustan Zinc. So I think both on the cash side and the F&O front, it is suggesting more buying than any of its peers. So I feel that stock will be heading towards that next resistance zone of 183 to 188 zone. Yes, you have to keep a stop loss because of the metal pack not doing good. So I would be keeping a tight stop loss here. So I would be keeping a stop loss of 164, 165. That's been a support zone for Hindustan Zinc. So I would be keeping a stop loss there. But as you asked about Sisa Sterlite or Tata Steel, metals pack have not been doing so good. So I would actually avoid trading in the metal pack currently.
All right, Ajay, I'll just finish the other one in your list. HDFC Bank has at best been a market performer, even a slight underperformer for a sterling stock like that. You think the fortunes turn now?
I think all eyes on the FIPB meeting, hopefully in next month, because that has been the single most overhang on the stock, whether the government would accede to the request of the management in terms of increase in the foreign investment holding limit. And I think if one were to look at the fact that the stock has underperformed, simply based on that concern, if and when sort of the approval comes through, our bet is that I think that the stock will outperform quite significantly, and we are expecting around 950 rupees as the target price over the 1 year period. So I think one should tactically buy into the stock and hold it for the medium term perspective.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us and talking about all those trading ideas. We'll see you again later. Well, that's the word coming in from our experts. The market is now settled up about 0.6% for the Nifty and the Sensex. And in fact, hardly any stocks in the red, only Coal India and Maruti for fundamental reasons.